14/? Is a simple exploration game that does a lot of teasing but gives no clear answers. It's hosted on a hard-to-find website with the most unintuitive URL I've seen so far, that has text in English and Japanese. Some parts of the game are quite benign, while others are more sinister. Hey everyone, I'm Sponge, and today we're going to be talking about the 14/ series. I first discovered this game through some trace mentions in Reddit threads, and after some investigation I found the creator's website. Looking at this should give you a good idea of why these games are obscure. It's hardly the most trustworthy. Feels like I'm going to get a virus just by looking at it. But upon translating the page, it seems just to be a sort of portfolio for this creator's work. We'll talk about them specifically a while later. Here you can see some artwork and music by the creator, but of course we're here for the main course, the games. The creator actually has a pretty big library, but I've only ever heard about the 14/ series, so that's where I started. So I should get into the general gameplay loop of the 14/ series. In every game you simply walk from room to room to room. You can go left, right, through a teleporter. Anytime you leave a room, a new room is generated, even if you go back in the same direction you came from. The gameplay doesn't stray too far from this until the third game, but the fun comes from the variety of the rooms. 14/ is the simplest, but also I think the most charming game in the series. The game starts you off with a seizure-inducing room, and from there you have tons more rooms to explore. There are actually a pretty big number of rooms, and after 40 minutes of playing, I'm still not sure if I've seen them all. Some are a bit boring, and some are a bit more exciting. Some special mentions are this smile trap room, the ever-famous I Permit room,
Let's visit this time.
and the rarest room in the game. It's just so disturbing. After playing a while, I was a bit confused on what the purpose of the game was, because the website certainly wasn't a help, until I figured that, of course, this was another game that doesn't have a point. Now, of course, there's certainly some symbolism around. 14s are all over the place, and there's few things more iconic to 14/ than the smiley faces. But from what I can tell, if there's something deeper, it's beyond me to figure it out. That didn't stop me from trying at the time, of course. You see, it all comes together in the map room. Yeah, the map room. You see, you mess with this small button in the middle, and the map cryptically scrolls until you stop it. There's various paths listed. I tried following these paths backwards and forwards multiple times, and hey, maybe it never worked, but that didn't stop me from spending 15 minutes in this room clicking the same button over and over to scroll the map. Yeah, 14/ seems to just be a fun exploration game where you get to explore the creativity of the creator. And with that, I suppose it's time that we talk about them. The whole video I've been calling them the creator, because there's almost nothing online about this person. I don't even know what to call them. Their website is titled Eternal Gomez, but their Twitter account is titled O14, and their Tumblr is something different altogether, and then their SoundCloud is Oto Gomez. So maybe we should call them Gomez because it shows up twice. Personally, I'm a fan of 014. I actually wanted to message them on Twitter for this video, maybe ask them a few questions, get to know more about them, but their account is closed to messages, and looking at their bio, I don't really think that they want any messages. Now, I do have a sick insider scoop. Prepare yourself. They may be a woman. My source is one guy on Reddit who has no source. So the validity of that fact may be a bit dubious, but as of now, it's the most information we have on 014. And the games themselves aren't going to help us much on figuring stuff out about them either. So now we can move on to the rest of the games. 14/ is probably my least favorite game in the series. It's a bit different than the other two, though. For one, it's a lot shorter, about half as long. It's actually probably a good place to start if you want to play a shorter game in the series, but for someone who had just played 14/, I spent a long while walking around when I had already found all the rooms. It has more of a floor aesthetic rather than a room aesthetic. There's also a lot more black rooms instead of white rooms. Instead of just doors, they're also teleporters. They don't behave any differently, but they're kind of neat. You can really tell that there's been some technological advancement from the last game. Some 14/ lore for you. But even if there is less rooms, 14/ still has some fun ones, such as the legendary bongo room, the room with my blue friend, in the fake exit room, and of course we can't forget the banger menu music. /? has the least variety and has a different style than the others, but still has the kind of same exploration variety that you can come to expect from these games. So by now, you'll probably wonder what 14/ ? Can add to improve on this formula, but it actually does have some cool innovations. First of all, we should admire the graphical differences. Our guy's a bit smaller than usual, and there's a lot more colorful rooms. 14/ ? Actually has this cool effect system that can make revisiting rooms a bit more exciting. There's a couple of visual effects that'll appear for a few rooms and then disappear. The first few times this happened, I thought I was going through entirely new rooms, so it actually adds a good bit of variety. But the real star is the music system. Every once in a while, you'll find one of these discs floating around. If you can get them, you get new music that you can play in the background. Some are more creepy than others. But this system gave me a real drive to play the game. They're spaced out pretty good, so they give me a lot of motivation to keep playing. They're probably the first real gameplay element in 14/. So, something about 14/ ? Is that it's actually supposed to be an alpha, a 0.01. But it's been 2 years since it released, and though 014 is still active on Twitter, there hasn't really been any signs that it'll update soon. Though there are some rooms that they post that I don't remember seeing in the actual game. But I wouldn't get your hopes up that we're going to get 1.0 anytime soon. To me, 14/ is an exploration of creativity for its author. It's a very simple game from the same ilk as Humaniki or LSD Dream Simulator, but with even less gameplay. I always wonder why these games get the underground cult following that they do, and for 14/ I think it's because it's a surreal game that offers no explanation. There's little way to contact the developer, and it's hosted on a personal website that has no descriptions. Of course, this is how the creator wants their games to be seen. They play into it on their Twitter account with cryptic little messages, and as I look into more games like these, I find that a lot of these obscure games are probably obscure on purpose. Which is really just its own style. I mean, I probably never would have played this game if it was just some random post on Game Jolt or Itch. The 14/ series is simply a collection of fun games, with the added charm of having been made by a mysterious creator. I would definitely recommend these. They're all free and they're good to occupy about an hour or two. Hey guys, sorry for kind of dying on you for a while there. Had to get through college finals and they're finally over. I'd love if you guys gave me some feedback on this video in the comments. I know that this channel has been mostly a gameplay channel up to now, but these are the kind of videos that I really want to populate it with. And if you have any obscure games that you know for me to play, put them down there as well. I have the list up right now of the games that I'm planning to play in the future, so if you have something that you would like to add to it, please be my guest. And I have a Twitter as well. I'll post updates to the channel there, and probably just talk about whatever random game I'm playing at the time, so follow that if you're interested. Like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Check out the playlist if you haven't. I hope to get a lot of videos out to you guys. I'm finally on break, so I should have the time. And have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching.